Welcome to another session of Business Startup Training. Today we'll be focusing on the UK High Street Challenge. What's the challenge like? What's happening with the UK High Street? And we're going to present our ideas in terms of recommendations and findings accordingly. This is presented by accounting lecturer. So our aim is to get a better understanding of the High Street Challenge in the UK as it relates to business startup. So our objectives are: what's the current High Street Challenge? What's the impact of technology? What are the options or the solutions available? And how can a startup survive in this situation? Now, what's the current High Street Challenge? One of the major challenges hitting the High Street is the rise of social media. Now, social media has caused people to be able to make comments, like or not like companies and make comments accordingly, and therefore that this could be damaging to any high street shop if it is that a service was not provided correctly or something happened that is not necessarily what would be a good thing for the company, and therefore social media platforms can cause huge damage. Additionally, there's also a rise in technology. So there's the balance between digitalizing and the physical selling. So businesses are more going towards, the online platform seems to be the driver at the moment, while physical selling tends not to be. And so therefore that creates a bit of a challenge. In terms of other ideas, there needs to be an expert knowledge in terms of technology and innovation, what is happening. And a lot of the high street shops do not necessarily adopt to the new technologies that is required to actually keep things going. We also need to take into account the fact that there's not a lot of draw or attractions that is pulling people into town centers and high street shops. So therefore, businesses need to take that into account in terms of the challenge they're currently facing. Now, what's the impact of technology? Currently, with the impact of and the rise of players like Amazon, you have free delivery, so you can just use your smartphone, order, and get a free delivery, and that is fantastic. Then we also have a lot of online platforms. There are so many and varied, and you have good pictures of the product. You can look at it, front, side, back. You can look at the sizes, etc., and you're able to make your order without actually leaving your home, the comfort of your home. And you can also have, in terms of the Amazon platform, they have places to pick up your purchase. You don't have to have it delivered to your home address, and there are central locations that you can have pickups so that you do not necessarily have to sit home and wait for the product to be delivered. Now, what are the options or the solutions available for high street shops and also business startups? I would say loyalty cards is very important. You're able to get a timing of when customers come, what they purchase, what's important to them, and so that you can have that in your store once they are going to be shopping. Some people shop every week, some people shop every other day, some people shop every month, and so you're able to do correct planning in terms of stocking due to loyalty cards. You can also decide to design apps. So it's a good platform for you to expand the technology aspect of your business by designing apps to explain features and what's happening in the store, and people can download it on their various smartphone devices. We can also have designing online platforms in terms of designing an online shopping experience. So instead of actually having people come into the shop, you can also offer them the option to have their service or product rather be purchased online. And I think that's an important thing. So the high street shops need to adopt to this online selling approach. So developing this and investing in it is an important thing. You can also have newsletters, so you need to get customers' email address or various, social media contacts so that you're able to then communicate with them via this means. Now, how can a startup survive in this situation? I would say a startup need to negotiate low rent and also have a very long lease. That's important because then you're able to actually reduce your costs. You also need to find a perfect niche business, one that requires customers to come into the actual physical location. That's important because if it can be easily replicated or is easily available, then you're not necessarily going to be the go-to. You want to make sure that you are niche and you're able to be the go-to. You could also provide online options. So as was mentioned before, having online options is important because then this allows a business to have other means of getting revenue, even if the shop is empty. As long as there's business taking place online, it will keep the business afloat. Sell with major players like Amazon. So again, Amazon price is important, so therefore you might need to offer it at a lower price, but you can have the option of selling your product via Amazon, so that's important. And once you put that into place, yes, you are more likely to have a fantastic option in terms of selling. So you do not necessarily need to rent a location. You can reduce the amount of shops or outlets you have by using Amazon as a means. Mind you, the competition is going to be significant because there's a lot of people trying to get into Amazon, but it creates an option for a wider audience. You can also create more attractive stores, and ensure that the shopping experience is fantastic, and that's through training the staff to ensure that they make customers feel welcome, feel at home, and that they actually have a good shopping experience. And once you do that, you're more likely to have an excellent fan or customer base. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that there's currently a challenge in the high streets. There's a lot of shops closing down, and this is due to technology and the rise of online selling. Now, what are the options available in terms of business startup? Businesses need to adopt. They need to use loyalty cards, they need to use design apps and create online selling experiences. And in terms of business startup, they need to think about how they can cut costs and how they can build a nice shopping experience. And going into technology is an important part of setting up your business currently. You cannot move away from that. Technology and driving your business via technology is important. So once you take that into account, you're more likely to have a good startup. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.